Welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to AM News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ubong Usoro. A quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. President Bola Tinubu has urged the newly appointed service chiefs to deepen professionalism, vigilance, and unity in the armed forces as they serve the nation with honor. He made the call while announcing new changes in the nation's military hierarchy on his official X handle, describing the appointments as part of efforts to strengthen national security. The president also commended the outgoing service chiefs for their dedication, expressing confidence that the new leadership will enhance operational effectiveness across Nigeria's defense institutions. Nigeria has officially exited the Financial Action Task Force grey list after fully implementing a 19-point action plan to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. The global watchdog announced the country's removal during its October plenary in Paris, describing the move as a major step in strengthening financial transparency. President Tinubu hailed the delisting as a strategic victory for economy and a renewed vote of confidence in Nigeria's financial governance. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has urged lawmakers to prioritize national interests and unity in the ongoing constitution review, warning against partisan or divisive amendments. Speaking at the joint retreat of the Senate and House of Reps Committee on Constitution Review in Lagos, Kalu stressed that the legislative discipline, public trust, and broad participation are vital for a legitimate outcome. He charged the committees to deliver reforms that strengthen governance, promote justice and equity, and advance Nigeria's long-term stability and development. Kalu said history will judge the outcomes of the processes as Nigeria works towards a people-focused constitution. Now to Benue State. Igede youth in Benue State have taken to the streets to protest the deplorable condition of the Otukpo, Obi, and Oju roads. The protesters are calling on the federal government to urgently rehabilitate the highway, which they say has become a death trap for commuters and a haven for criminals. Benue State correspondent Felicity Ndere now reports.
In a peaceful demonstration, but one that conveyed deep frustration, hundreds of Igede youth poured onto the Otukpo Obi Oju Road, demanding immediate government intervention to fix what they described as a failed federal road.
What do you want? Fix Otukpo Obi Oju Road.
For decades, the road has remained in a dilapidated state. According to youth, until the road is fixed, they will continue to raise their voices, hoping that one day their cries will translate into concrete action.
But when it comes to the border area of Ijegu, down to Igede land, the tractors and everybody will disappear like salt inside water. We are tired. We will not take it again. We have come and we are going to remain here 3 days after today. If you don't attend to us, we are human beings. We give our vote to the federal government. We give our vote to the state government. We give our vote to every other person and contributed to national development. We cannot be left like this. So this is just a warning.
The protesters say the hardship caused by the poor road goes beyond inconveniences. It threatens lives and livelihoods, forcing motorists and commuters to endure endless delays, vehicle breakdowns, and in some cases, attack by bandits, taking advantage of stranded travelers.
And the election is coming. We don't want this road to become a campaign strategy for our politicians. Because this road has become a campaign strategy. What they normally do during the election, they come and start giving us lies that if you vote for me, this road is going to be fixed.
When they ask us to vote for them, we always turned out in large numbers. But now it's time for them to help us. They refuse to listen to our voices. What should we do? We are tired. They should fix our road. We can no longer go to the market.
Drivers and commuters say going through the route daily It's a journey of frustration and loss.
And my customer, when they wait me for Abuja to carry, I don't give them. They worry me. They say I don't chop their kaya. I don't say they divert their kaya. And I'm no day. Why supposed to go and carry kaya since about 3 days ago now? No movement. And any way to do to me again to survive the motor again.
We are on the road. They are supposed to come and check the road, even if they won't repair it. This road has been in existence before I was born. Now I am grown. I'm plying the road too. Sometimes we spend 2 days on the road, eating food and drinking water that is not too.
The protesters, therefore, as a matter of urgency, are appealing to the Federal Ministry of Works and the Benue State government to prioritize the rehabilitation of the Otukpo Obi Oju Road in the next phase of infrastructure projects. In Otukpo, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global Television News.
Bello University, ABU Zaria, has dismissed a viral social media video alleging that the institution was involved in developing nuclear weapons for Nigeria. The university's Director of Public Affairs, Awula Umar, made this clarification in a statement issued to newsmen in Zaria. According to him, the video falsely claimed that the Nigerian scientists in 1980s secretly enriched weapons-grade uranium in Kaduna, and ABU researchers obtained centrifuge equipment from the AQ Khan network in Pakistan. Umar revealed that the video is AI-generated and a deliberate attempt to misinform the public about Nigeria's peaceful nuclear energy program. The Federal Capital Territory Executive Council has approved a series of key projects aimed at improving infrastructure, education, healthcare, and youth empowerment across the nation's capital. The decisions were reached during the 5th Executive Council meeting, chaired by Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Kabi Hassan tells us more.
A total of 33 memoranda were presented for consideration. Out of 14 involved award of contracts and 8 for ratification. All received the Council's approval. In the health sector, the Council approved the provision of 12 fully equipped ambulances to strengthen emergency response services across the territory.
Today at the Executive Council meeting, a contract has been ratified, and I am very pleased to say for the first time in about 9 years, FCT will get 12 brand new ambulances.
In the education sector, approval was given for the supply of instructional materials to secondary schools aimed at improving effective teaching and learning.
In today's Executive Council meeting, a contract was awarded for the supply of instructional material for WAEC, NECO, and practical materials in 88 number senior secondary school of FCT.
Under infrastructure development, the Council approved the construction of new access roads within Abuja, as well as the extension of service centers, including the Jabi pump station, to improve public utilities.
The FCT Executive Committee today approved the award of contract for the alternative access road to the old Federal Secretariat in Durumi, as well as resurfacing of the existing road.
The FCT Executive Committee has approved the extension of service contracts for the operation and maintenance of Jabi Pump Station and servicing of associated CWAP lines.
The Council also endorsed the establishment of youth centers to promote entrepreneurship, self-employment, and empowerment programs for young residents of the FCT.
Today at FCT Expo, we were able to approve a memo in respect of complete renovation of Nyanya Youth Center.
In the agricultural sector, farmers are to benefit from fertilizers distribution and other input to boost productivity and contribute to food security. Minister Wike reaffirmed the administration commitment to President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, assuring residents that all approved projects will directly enhance their living standards. Kabir Hassan reporting for Global TV News.
The Environmental Society has rounded off its 84th National Conference with a grand finale and 40th anniversary celebration in Abuja. The event highlighted 4 decades of consistent advocacy for environmental protection and sustainable development. A correspondent reports.
It was a night of reflection, recognition, and renewed commitment as members of the Nigerian Environmental Society gathered to celebrate 40 years of driving environmental awareness and policy action in Nigeria. The event featured a presentation of awards to deserving members who have contributed to the society's growth and impact over the years. Speakers commended NES journey from a small advocacy group to a national voice for sustainable and environmental justice. The national president of the Nigerian Environmental Society, Dr. Efebidike Okobia, stated that the organization will continue its advocacy towards environmental sustainability.
For us, we are indeed grateful that the society is 40 years. But we are not just celebrating 40 years, we are celebrating landmark achievements and also planning and strategizing for the next 40 years.
The National Secretary of the Society, Dr. Adewale Adeyemi, said the milestone reflects the organization's resilience and continued drive to promote cleaner and greener communities.
This was just a society that was just like a mustard seed planted by a few people, about 10 of them 40 years ago. Now from just 1 chapter in Lagos, it has grown to 36 chapters in Nigeria and 1 chapter in UK.
Also speaking, Emeritus Professor Babajide Alu, former Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos and Chairman of the Board of Trustees, described NES as a catalyst for positive environmental change in Nigeria.
We have also remained very, very relevant in Nigerian society. We are recognized as the premier NGO for environment in Nigeria. We are recognized as the leading society, government, parastatals, everybody come to us.
As the grand finale draws to a close, members reaffirm their commitment to promoting sustainable cities, strengthening partnership, and creating a healthier, greener environment for current and future generations. Ubong Usoro for Global Television, Abuja.
Of the United Nations World Development Information Day. Stakeholders have called for stronger information systems, better data governance, and policies that bridge the persistent gap between knowledge and action. Again, our correspondent reports. Of AM News. When AM News returns, Ivory Coast votes as Ouattara seeks 4th term. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. The World Bank has announced plans to invest $14 billion in global agribusiness by 2030 under a new program called AgriConnect. The initiative aims to transition smallholders farming from subsistence to profitable enterprise, creating millions of jobs and boosting food security across developing economies. President of the bank, Aja Banga, said the move represents a shift from financial isolated projects to building an entire economic system that sustains rural growth and employment. The federal government has taken another major step towards inclusive agricultural development with the validation of the revised National Gender Policy in Agriculture and Strategic Action Plan from 2025 to 2030. Our correspondent Aniette Patrick reports that the policy aims to bridge gender gaps in access to land, finance, and decision-making across Nigeria's agricultural sector.
The validation workshop held in Abuja brought together key stakeholders from government agencies and the National Assembly to development partners and Farmer Association. The revised policy led by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is designed to promote inclusivity, equity, and productivity across the agricultural value chain.
Having laws protect productivity and inclusivity, the national gender policy in agriculture in our collective response framework that ensure equal participation, equitable allocation of resources, and targeted support for women, men, young farmers, and persons with disabilities.
According to the ministry, the document is the product of a year-long consultative process involving more than 1,200 stakeholders across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Marcus Ogumbi, said the policy marks a milestone in mainstreaming gender equality into agricultural planning and budgeting.
This policy will serve as a guiding framework for our actions and decisions in ensuring that the needs and perspectives of women and other vulnerable groups are integrated into agricultural development.
For the chairperson of the National Gender Steering Committee and Food Systems Specialist at ActionAid Nigeria, Azubike Nwokoye, the policy reflects current realities, including the need to tackle gender-based violence and support young farmers.
This revised national gender policy in agriculture, we reflected over the gaps we have seen. You know, as we have been working with the policy, there are contextual issues that are coming up. There are things that are changing that we need to also reflect and also put in some action.
The revised national gender policy in agriculture is expected to be presented to the National Council on Agriculture for endorsement, setting the stage for more inclusive agricultural growth and better food and nutrition security nationwide. Anie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
It's taking major steps to boost crop productivity and reduce farming losses through a new soil health scheme designed to guide farmers on the right crops and fertilizers for their land. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, made this known at a media chat at the Nigeria's Soil Health Information System Development Workshop in Abuja. Again, Aniete Patrick reports.
The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, says the initiative will end decades of guesswork in Nigerian farming. He explains that many farmers plant crops without properly knowing the condition of their soil and often waste expensive fertilizers that don't improve yields. Abdullahi added that the program is part of efforts to improve food production and promote what the government calls food sovereignty, ensuring Nigerians grow what they eat.
The National Farmer Soil Health Scheme is actually designed to help us move Nigerian agriculture to better productivity. And like you know, agriculture takes place on the soil, but we've never paid enough attention to the issue of soil.
The minister says data from soil testing will also help fertilizer companies produce crop-specific blends tailored to different regions of the country. Abdullahi notes that with 73 million hectares of arable land, Nigeria currently cultivates less than half of its potential, a gap he believes the new system will help close and attract more investors. He adds that the policy has already taken effect with field trials ongoing.
Now, what this will do for us is that the farmer will have higher yield, he will plant the right crop, get the right yield, but most importantly, he will reduce the cost that he normally gets based on just using any kind of fertilizer. Currently, a lot of our farmers just use any fertilizer blend and they broadcast it anyhow.
Supporting the effort is the Regional Hub for Fertilizer and Soil Health, located at IITA in Ibadan, along with the World Soil Information Center, ISRIC. The hub is working with 17 countries in West Africa and the Sahel, strengthening technology, scientific methods, and local capacity for soil health research.
So one of the roles of the hub is to ensure that NICES, the Nigerian Soil Information System, is building on the best available technologies today, and that we continuously increase new technology, new science into NICE, so it remains up to date.
With better information, officials say Nigerian farmers can now make smarter decisions and secure improved harvests, helping drive national food security and productivity. Anie Tie Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
Ivory Coast has opened polls in a high-stake election that could extend President Alassane Ouattara's rule to nearly 2 decades. Despite facing 4 challengers, the 83-year-old leader is widely expected to retain power as his party dominates parliament and the political space. While Ouattara has been overseeing strong economic growth, critics say widespread poverty and unemployment persist in the country, particularly amongst the country's youthful population. Now to the U.S. U.S. President Donald Trump will meet with the Emir and Prime Minister of Qatar, a key ally in preserving the fragile Gaza peace deal, during a refueling stop on his way to Asia. The Qatari leaders will board Air Force One late night when it lands at Al Udeid Air Base, which hosts the regional headquarters for U.S. military and thousands of American troops, a White House official said. Trump is traveling to Asia for the first time since taking office in January, with 2 regional summits and a face-to-face meeting with Chinese Prime Minister Xi Jinping and other leaders on the agenda. The United Nations Development Programme's Deputy Representative in Syria, Wawi Afghani, says the country must be swift about rebuilding in order to bring stability to the wider region. Ugi Agumafwegbe reports that Afghani, during his visit to Geneva, noted that reconstruction is one of the most significant challenges facing Syria's new Islamist authorities after the overthrow of longtime ruler Bashar al-Assad in last December. To sports now. Nigeria's Super Falcons have taken a commanding step towards the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations after a 2-0 first leg victory over Benin Republic in Lome. Goals for Chiwundu Izuo and Esther Okoronkwo gave the Falcons a comfortable advantage ahead of the return leg in Abeokuta. With the win, Nigeria remains on course to defend its continental title in Morocco, joining Ghana, Zambia, and South Africa among the front runners in qualification. As Global TV AM News comes to an end, let's look at our top stories. President Bola Tinubu has urged the newly appointed service chiefs to deepen professionalism, vigilance, and unity in the armed forces as they save the nation with honor. In business, the World Bank has announced plans to invest $14 billion in global agribusiness by 2030 under a new program known as AgriConnect. On the foreign scene, we told you Ivory Coast has opened polls in high-stake election that could extend President Alassane Ouattara's rule to nearly 2 decades. And in sports, Nigeria's Super Falcons have taken a commanding step towards the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations after a 2-0 first leg victory over Benin Republic in Lome. And that's it on AM News. A quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Time 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms, now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Ubong Usoro. Bye for now.